The people of the plains.
Hundreds of years ago, before the Europeans came, Canada was inhabited by the First Nations people. Amongst them, inhabiting in the interior plains region in Canada, were the people of the plains. Geographic location. From the Rocky Mountains to the woodlands of the southeastern Manitoba, the native people of the plains span the southern provinces of Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba. They have been there for at least 10,000 years. Although we call them the people of the plains, they are also separated into different clans and groups, such as the Plains Ojibwa, Blackfoot, and Plains Cree. We call them all the people of the plains because of their similarities in their lives. The groups all inhabited in the plains, hunted, and relied on the buffalo. Environment. In the west, short grasses, sage, and cacti grew. In the east, high grasses cover the prairies. At the base of the Rockies, forests and foothills scattered, and all through the plains, bisons roamed. Food and diet. Mainly, the people of the plains survived on buffalo or bison. They also collected berries, dried them, and then added dried buffalo meat and lard to create pemmican.
Shelter. The plains people lived in wigwams and teepees. The teepees were tall cone-like structures made from 3 to 4 support poles and hides. The poles got set up into pyramid shape, then would get covered in bison hide. A flap is left open at the top of the teepee for ventilation. Clothing. The woman would prepare the hides and sewed clothing or moccasins. Men would wear shirts, breechcloths, and full-length leggings, while women wore dresses and short leggings. Plains people would also wear ponchos for extra warmth.
Traditional artistry versus modern artistry. Traditionally, the people of the plains would express their art by making designs that represented animals and celestial symbols on their teepees. They were also very skilled in quill work. Nowadays, many famous artists such as Johann Cardinal Schubert and Maxine Noëls are descendants from the people of the plains. They enjoy painting pieces that represent their ancestors.
Transportation. At first, plains people traveled by foot, and during the winters they would use snowshoes. In the 1700s, horses were introduced. There were also structures made from 2 poles, which were attached to a wooden frame or netting. Roles of women and men. The women would tan hides, gathered wild foods, cooked and made clothing. They would also be in charge of putting up and taking down the teepees. Men would either battle or hunt for buffalo. Spirituality. They believed in a great called Wakantanka, meaning the Great Spirit. The people believed all animals, plants, trees, stones, and clouds possessed spirits, and that the earth was the mother of all spirits.
The people did not have much of a spoken language, but rather things were written in symbols, and they used hand signals.
Leadership. The people of the plains within each nomadic group would have a chief whom was an advisor. Generally, the leader was to be wise, patient, and showed other great qualities of leadership or a large sum of wealth. The people of the plains were a group of which animals were a dominant feature in their lives. The bison provided clothing, food, and shelter from their hides. Horses were used as transportation, and porcupine quills provided quill work in their clothing and artistry. These features shaped the people.